Ricky Nelson was born Eric Hilliard Nelson on May 8, 1940, in Teaneck, New Jersey, into a world where show business was not an ambition but a family language. His parents, Ozzie and Harriet Nelson, were already well-known entertainers, and Ricky's childhood unfolded under studio lights instead of street lamps. Alongside his older brother David, he grew up on the long-running radio and television series The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, a show that blurred the line between fiction and reality and welcomed millions of Americans into the Nelson household each week. Viewers watched Ricky mature in real time, his boyish charm and natural ease making him one of the most recognizable young faces in the country. Yet beneath the warmth of America's favorite TV family was a child growing up with expectations few could understand, learning early that applause could be both a gift and a burden. From sitcom son to rock and roll pioneer. Unlike many child stars whose fame faded with adolescence, Ricky Nelson reinvented himself at precisely the right moment. In the late 1950s, as rock and roll began reshaping American culture, he stepped onto the music scene with a calm confidence that contrasted sharply with the genre's rebellious reputation. His first single, I'm Walkin', released in 1957, quickly climbed the charts, signaling that Ricky was not merely an actor who sang, but a genuine recording artist. What followed was a remarkable run of hits. Poor Little Fool, Hello Mary Lou, Travelin' Man, Lonesome Town, and It's Late. Songs that blended youthful emotion with polished restraint. His clean image helped introduce rock music into mainstream households, often through television appearances that reached families who might otherwise have resisted the genre. By his early 20s, Ricky Nelson was among the most successful solo male artists in America, respected not only for his popularity, but for his consistency and musical discipline. Choosing growth over nostalgia. As the 1960s progressed, popular music shifted rapidly, and many early rock stars struggled to adapt. Ricky Nelson faced that crossroads with quiet resolve. Rather than chasing trends or clinging to his teen idol image, he leaned into artistic growth, exploring folk and country rock influences that reflected his evolving identity. This creative turn led to the formation of the Stone Canyon Band and positioned him as an early contributor to a genre that would later define artists like the Eagles. His 1972 song Garden Party became a defining statement, inspired by a moment when audiences demanded only his old hits. Instead of resentment, the song offered clarity, delivering its now iconic message. You can't please everyone, so you've got to please yourself. It was not a rejection of his past, but an affirmation that artists, like people, must be allowed to change. A serious actor in a changing industry beyond music, Ricky Nelson built a steady and often underrated acting career. His early film appearances included Here Come the Nelsons and the Story of Three Loves, but his most enduring role came in 1959 with Howard Hawks' Western classic Rio Bravo. Acting alongside John Wayne and Dean Martin, Nelson brought a quiet modernity to the genre, earning praise for his understated performance. Over the years, he continued to work in both film and television, appearing in projects such as The Wackiest Ship in the Army, Love and Kisses, The Streets of San Francisco, Hondo, The Hardy Boys/Nancy Drew Mysteries, and The Love Boat. His acting choices reflected a working artist's mindset rather than a search for stardom, roles that kept him engaged, relevant, and creatively fulfilled. Love, family, and private struggles. In 1963, Ricky married Kristen "Chris" Harmon, the daughter of football legend Tom Harmon and actress Elise Knox, in a highly publicized union that seemed to unite two American legacy families. Together, they had 4 children, including actress Tracy Nelson and twin musicians Gunnar and Matthew Nelson. While the family image appeared idyllic from the outside, the marriage faced growing strain over time. The pressures of touring, shifting ambitions, and personal differences gradually took their toll. Their divorce in 1982 marked the end of a long chapter, one that deeply affected Ricky and found quiet expression in the reflective tone of his later work. Despite the separation, he remained devoted to his children, valuing stability and connection even as his personal life underwent profound change. the night that changed everything. On December 31st, 1985, Ricky Nelson boarded a vintage Douglas DC-3 aircraft with his band, traveling to a New Year's Eve performance in Dallas, Texas. The flight never arrived. A fire broke out mid-air, forcing an emergency landing attempt near DeKalb, Texas. The two pilots survived, but Ricky, his fiancée Helen Blair, and 5 band members lost their lives. Initial reports offered few answers, and in the absence of clarity, speculation quickly filled the void. Over time, rumors overshadowed facts, deepening the grief for his family and fans alike. What should have been a moment of remembrance instead became clouded by unanswered questions and public confusion. What the evidence ultimately revealed, years of investigation eventually brought a clearer understanding of what happened that night. Aviation experts and later reviews determined that the fire originated in the cabin, most likely caused by a malfunctioning heating system. The aircraft, a World War II-era plane, had a history of mechanical issues, including repeated heater problems that were known but inadequately addressed. The system had been modified in ways that failed to meet safety standards, placing flammable materials dangerously close to heat sources. Without proper fire suppression equipment on board, the situation escalated rapidly. Evidence strongly suggests that passengers were overcome by smoke before the crash occurred. The tragedy was not the result of reckless behavior or personal failure, but of preventable mechanical negligence. Clearing the record with compassion. For decades, unfounded rumors circulated about substance use, unfairly casting shadows over Ricky Nelson's final moments. These claims were never supported by toxicology reports or credible evidence, yet they persisted in public memory. Later findings made it clear that such narratives were distractions from the real issue: systemic failure and inadequate safety oversight. Correcting this record matters, not to reopen wounds, but to restore dignity to those who lost their lives. Ricky Nelson was a professional musician traveling to do his job, trusting that those responsible for the aircraft had done theirs. They had not. A legacy defined by integrity. Ricky Nelson's life cannot be reduced to the circumstances of his death. He was a bridge between generations of American music, a child star who became a respected artist, and a performer who valued authenticity over comfort. He sold millions of records, influenced countless musicians, and demonstrated that reinvention is not betrayal, but survival. His children carried his creative spirit forward, and his music continues to resonate with listeners who hear both simplicity and depth in his voice. When the mystery ends, the meaning remains. The resolution of the long-standing questions surrounding Ricky Nelson's death does not bring comfort so much as clarity. It reminds us that tragedies are often quieter and more human than the myths built around them. In understanding what truly happened, we are left not with scandal, but with a sober reflection on responsibility, trust, and loss. Ricky Nelson's story endures not because of how it ended, but because of how fully he lived, growing, changing, and remaining true to himself in an industry that rarely allows such grace. His voice still plays on, steady and unmistakable. A reminder that even when answers come late, truth still matters.